Woo! It's cold as hell out here in New York City, man. Jesus Christ. We in Harlem, baby. Tonight, my guest has moved to LA and has complained to me time and time again about not having good Dominican food where she's at. I had to bring her uptown. I had to bring her to get some really good Dominican food. And the only place that I could have brought her was here at Santiago's Beer Garden. We're uptown. She's an uptown girl. This is bound to be a great show. Check out and see who's our guest tonight at Dinner with Ish. Join me.
My name is Matthew Furman, and welcome to Santiago's Beer Garden.
Sasha Merci.
Hello.
It's been weeks, man. We've been trying to get you on the show
Yes.
for weeks.
Yes, that's very true. And I'm glad that we're here now. So
Yeah. I'm glad you're here, for real, for real.
we made it happen. We made it happen.
Listen, man, you're doing big things. You just got a sponsorship ad by Maker's Mark. We do Dinner with Ish because food is a key component to bringing people together, at least
Yes.
for me. I know you expressed that you've been in LA for quite some time.
Yeah.
And one thing that they don't got over there is
Good Dominican food.
good Dominican food.
Yeah, like there are some people that have been moving out there recently since I moved out there. I've been out there for 4 years.
Okay.
And
Damn, 4 years?
yeah, I mean, it's going on 5, but who's
Wow.
counting, you know? The pandemic,
Yeah.
it doesn't count. But yeah, I've been there for, I would say 4 years, and it's very hard to find like good Dominican authentic food.
Yeah.
But there have been a couple people, but what they do is like it's either catering or like you have to see if they're available
Yeah.
to like cook for you.
Right.
But there isn't a spot yet that I know of in LA, and if I do, then like let me know.
Right.
If you do, let me know so I could be there all the time. But then I could just cook at home. I call my aunt and I'm like, hey, like how do I do this? How do I do that? And she always makes sure she gives me the perfect ingredients to remind me of home.
The black side of my family, the Trinidadian side, they don't like giving away their recipes. So when I call my aunt, I'm like, yo, auntie, what's in that rice and peas again? She would say, yeah, you know, a little this and a little that. So the fact that you have an aunt that's giving you like the
Yeah.
family secrets, that's dope. That's dope.
You know what's interesting about when you're cooking, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what it is. Like you could have all the ingredients and you can have the recipe, but it's definitely the way that you do it and how much love and time you take in creating the dish.
Yeah.
That it really is what you give people, right? Like it really is the secret sauce. Like you, the secret sauce.
Right.
Of making a dish.
Right.
Because there's been times where, you know, my aunt will tell me the ingredients and stuff, and I'll do it, and just wouldn't taste as good as hers.
Right.
And then I just see her and the way she cooks, especially during Thanksgiving. Like I don't know how your family does it,
Yeah.
but my family, like you can't just pull up with a dish without speaking with the matriarch of the family, right?
Facts.
Like everybody has to have like a Illuminati meeting, you know? Like they're gonna be like, you know, and it's not like you just be like, oh, I'm gonna pull up and pull up with a dish. It's like, no, how have you been proving yourself throughout the years that you can contribute
Facts.
to a Thanksgiving dinner?
I know exactly what you mean.
Because
I had
yeah.
to bring mac and cheese to 3 Sunday dinners before I could bring it to a holiday.
Exactly.
You feel me? It's like
You get it.
You got trials.
Uh-huh.
Then you got preliminaries.
Yes.
And then you have the race.
Yes.
And then when you wait, then you could showcase your shit. So
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
There was this, I don't know if you've ever had this Dominican dish, but it's also Puerto Rican. The Puerto Rican dish is called pernil, right?
Pernil, of course.
Right. That, like, people just taste it and they go, oh my God, it's so delicious. But they don't understand the days it
Yeah.
takes to just to really create that dish. And I, one Thanksgiving, thought that I can do it, and I was way over my head. And instead of a pernil, it looked like a hamnil, meaning like that.
It looked like one of them glazed honey hams.
Oh, it was like, and you know how usually like your food
Yeah.
is good when people take they take leftovers.
Right.
My shit was left there. They were like, nah, we're gonna leave this shit right here. And I don't know, whoever.
Has your pernil gotten better over time?
That's one thing I have not mastered yet. So And I feel like also when you know how to make a pernil, like you get promoted in the family. Like you get promoted as you have the matriarchs of the family who make choices and stuff like that.
The status is through food,
It's
though.
through food. It's through food. If you can make a pernil, you can tell people what to do in the family. If you can't make a pernil, don't be telling me shit about like giving me advice or nothing.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna look at you like, you know how to make a pernil? Okay, so don't talk to me.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
No, don't tell me how to live my life if you can't make a pernil.
I love that. I love that. Well, I don't know if we're gonna have pernil tonight, but I told the chef to hook us up.
Okay.
We got a few appetizers coming. We got a great main course coming. You get yours, I get mine. We can share with the family style.
I love that.
And
love sharing.
and of course we got to end it with dessert. But I know you have a show tonight, so I'm gonna try to make sure the food gets here as quick as possible. Does that sound like a plan?
That sounds like an amazing plan.
Are you excited to be on dinner with Ish?
First of all, this is better than anything, because I'm about to do a show that's very Dominican influenced comedy, but Dominican American influenced comedy.
Yeah.
And I get to have Dominican food before I perform. So this is like,
we had to do it for you.
Papa Dios has been listening to me. So God.
Well, it was really important that we found two things, right? One, an amazing Dominican restaurant, and two, it had to be uptown.
Yes.
I didn't want to go to the Bronx because
Why not?
I just,
I'm joking.
I didn't have my bulletproof vest this week. I'm joking. Listen, Bronx, I'm sorry.
First of all, I'm from the Bronx.
It's Brooklyn, baby.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm from the Bronx, and we were the last borough to get gentrified. Okay, so I understand. But also,
and a police department,
no
fire
risk.
trucks.
Yes, but no risk, no rewards.
Right.
But anyway, definitely Dominican food doesn't matter where it is in the city. If you have Dominican roots and you have a family that knows how to cook Dominican food, you could be anywhere in the world and experience some good, delicious Dominican food.
Facts.
So we'll have some here. We have some in the Bronx. We have them in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And hopefully soon, California.
So as we wait for the first course, I want to jump into a few questions.
Okay.
Some of them might be a little bit weird. Some of them might be a little bit personal. But I really want our viewers to get a better look into what and who and why there is a Sasha Merci today. Does that sound like a plan?
Trauma, baby. No, I'm joking.
So tell me about that. You grew up in the Bronx.
Yes.
What was it like growing up in the Bronx? What was it like growing up, as a Latin woman amongst, you told me you had 6 brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
What was that like? What was growing up in the 90s like?
Okay, so first of all, I was born in the Bronx. And then at a very young age, I was 3 months old and I was taken to Dominican Republic and then I was raised there until I was 6. From 6 years old, I ended up staying. I feel like I know, I have this thing where I say Jerome is my home because I am from the Bronx, but specifically the whole area that I know more than anything in the Bronx is the 4 train. And that's on Jerome. And so it's from having family in Woodlawn to hanging out with friends who went to school at DeWitt Clinton to living on Fordham, Kingsbridge, just kind of being a gypsy, but around that area is where it's at. And even though it's so funny because I remember being in love with the Bronx, just being in love with being able to have the Dominican culture, but also the blessing about being in New York is that you get to see all these different cultures it's like a melting pot. So being in the Bronx and still getting to know other people who are from a different ilk or a different background, I loved it, but I also I love being a little hood baby when I was
So
I'm now oh my
you
God.
moved to DR at 3 months. When did you move back to New York?
6.
At 6 years old.
Yeah.
So all you know is really New York, right? I mean, do you remember?
All I know is New York, but I still have memories of where I lived and how I lived over there.
Okay.
And the thing is that my family, they speak Spanish, so it almost felt like I never left. There was always a piece of me that felt like I never left. What I loved about the Bronx is that I can have the Dominican culture and I can have the hip hop culture.
Yeah.
And that to me was a great fusion it's part of my identity, just Dominican, hip hop, me.
Top 5 rappers that are alive.
Ay, ay, ay.
Go.
Okay, top 5. Okay, Biggie, Tupac. Oh my God. Fabulous. I love Fabulous.
Hell
Can't take that away from me.
Authentic, right.
I don't give a fuck. Jay-Z. I like Jay-Z.
Okay.
And oh my God, I know he's not the best rapper. Cameron.
Cam. Killer Cam.
I know. You know why I like
Killer
Cam?
Cam
I
with the
just,
ham.
you know, at the time when Dipset was really like
They were-
Dipset,
hell
like when
yeah.
I was in high school.
Same.
You know what I mean? I was in
Same.
high school. I knew that they weren't the best rappers,
I had a
but
pink Nextel.
there we go. Hello.
Right.
So like it was, you know, it was Dipset all day for me
Hell
at,
yeah.
you know, in my teenage years. Like some girls were into like Lizzie McGuire and stuff. I was into like Dipset. And whatever the
Hardcore
I
hip
get the
hop.
piece disputed.
Yeah.
Y'all
He was
get shot
flagging
at.
it out.
Yeah. Call me dude. Yeah.
I always wanted to own my own restaurant. I love this business. I like making people happy. I like talking to people about their day and just getting to know them and giving them good service, good food, good drinks. So I saved up my whole time working in restaurants and I eventually opened up my own spot.
What do we have here? Oh, wow.
Some appetizers.
Okay.
All right, we have an empanadas trio and then a special boat for this lovely lady.
Okay.
She's allergic to seafood.
Yeah, she is. She is. She's allergic to shrimp, so I can't enjoy it.
Yeah. Shellfish. Yeah.
Thanks, Sasha.
You're welcome.
If she eats shellfish, she will die.
Yeah.
So,
1,000%.
So we made a little special one. So
Okay.
it's chicharrón de pollo, tostones, and yuca fries.
all right. And what are these again?
Empanada trio with chicken, cheese, and beef.
Awesome.
One of each.
And it's just kind of like a choose your own adventure type of thing, or do you
Yes.
know which is which?
Choose your own adventure.
All right, wonderful. Thanks, Amanda.
Provecho.
Gracias.
So I got these plates right here. Let's go, one for you.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you,
Some
thank you, thank you,
utensils and
thank
some
you.
napkins. And I think we're missing something. I got these drinks right here. So that is a lychee martini, one of their populars here. And I'm gonna have a Moscow Mule.
Well, let's cheers then.
Salud.
Una salud. This is really good.
Oh wow, yeah, this is good too.
Oh my God.
So before we jump into this, we were talking about your Maker's Mark, sponsored ad.
Finding your voice is the most important thing in the world. It's a powerful tool that brings people together and amplifies the voices of those who don't have one. In my community, we use our voices to sing, laugh, and unite. My Dominican American culture taught me confidence within my existence. I found my strength in comedy, baby. I know my voice and I know exactly where I'm headed. And it's to project my dreams to the bigger picture. Here's to making your mark.
Maker's also has Hornitas into their brand. I know you're a tequila girl, right?
Yeah, I like tequila too.
Shall we start with a shot?
Sure.
All right.
Sure. It's gonna be fun.
And then we can figure out what we're gonna dig in on first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, pa arriba,
Pa arriba,
pa abajo,
pa abajo,
pa el centro
pa centro
y pa adentro.
y pa dentro.
Uh-huh.
What did I just say?
It's literally up, down, center, inside. That's all it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's put something inside us right now.
That's right.
Pause.
Pause. Hey, yo.
What? What do you want to get started with?
Oh my God, I just don't know. Okay, I want to start with something that I already know.
Mm-hmm.
Like chicharrón de pollo. I want to do that. I want to taste it.
Okay. Oh, you didn't use a fork. Okay, let's do
Well,
it.
you know, I know exactly where I wanted to go.
I'm not judging. I'm just, I'm following your lead.
You kind of judge a little bit. So, delicious.
That sauce, fire.
All right.
I don't even know what it is, but
I'm not like a sauce person. I like my
dry food.
which is weird. Which is so weird, because like my family is like, pero ponle algo, you know?
Yeah,
They're like, put
yeah.
something on it.
Let's put some beans or something on it. So you don't eat beans either, or you just don't do sauce?
I love beans.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love beans. It's just like I don't.
Why you gotta be so aggressive with it though? Don't get me
Don't
wrong.
get me wrong. I can't do like dry rice, but like I'm not like. Besides that, I'm not like a really like big sauce person. But like you said, this sauce is.
It's phenomenal. You can even taste that Dominican oregano in it. You know
It's
what I
just
mean?
delicious.
Mm-hmm.
People underestimate like spices, like how important they are. In Los Angeles, I feel like the more money people make, the less they have like flavor, I guess. Like it's just like every time I've gone to like dinners and it's just like, oh my god, it's supposed to be fancy, and they go, oh my god, this is like so good.
What are your thoughts like of people from LA since you've been up there?
To be honest with you, when I moved out to LA, that was one of the first things that I noticed, that they're so eager to be like, oh hi, how are you? And then you're like, I'm doing well. Actually, they go, all right, that's not. I didn't really actually ask to know. It's just more of a like formality.
Right. I just did it to be nice.
Yeah, I just did it to be nice, and that's like the real difference. Like I remember one time I went to this event and this girl was like, "You're like so amazing. Like you're like so funny, and you're like so amazing. We need to hang out." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, let's hang out." And she was like, "Okay." She turned around and I never saw her again. And I was like, am I supposed to call you telepathically, bitch? Like,
right.
You didn't even give me a number.
Do you feel like, all right, and like, let's get into some real conversation here, some real talk, right? Do you feel like that same level of treatment has been given to you in like Hollywood? You know, like you being an actress, you being on Fuse, and you know, you having like hit shows and being so big with content. Do you feel like people have snubbed you as well in Hollywood? Do you get that same treatment, you know, as you've tried to make your way into the industry?
I did a web series called Dating Has No Mercy.
Okay.
And I did it without knowing anything. Like, it was just me and my friend Justin Brown.
Yeah.
We created a series from scratch. We didn't know what we were gonna like do. And we finished it. And then that series got me into so many meetings with like so many like important production companies.
Yeah.
And it was one, I'm not gonna say no names, but maybe I should, but I'm not gonna say no names.
Just say a name.
Nah. But
which one?
It was they go, oh my god, we love the series, but to be honest with you, like, we don't know what to do with it. And that's a huge, when somebody says, I don't know what to do
We
with
love
it,
your series, but we don't know what to do
We don't know
with
what
it.
to do. It's like a huge slap in the face.
Do you think it's because you're Latina?
1000%. It's a huge slap in the face because when you say things like that to me, you're telling me in my face that I don't exist.
Yeah.
And when you tell me that I don't exist, you're telling me that millions of people like me
That look
live
like you.
and that look like me,
Right.
that exist in New York City also don't exist. Because all you have to do is just put it on your motherfucking platform, you know what I'm saying? But I get in trouble, you know, I've gotten in trouble for like speaking my mind, but I also have gotten jobs for speaking my mind, you know?
Yeah.
And being able to like gauge that, because it is like the more that I get into Hollywood and the more that I get to learn things, I understand that the Latino voice and the Latino community is something that they're just trying to understand a grasp on.
Yeah.
Versus like, instead of trying to understand it, just
Embrace it.
Just embrace it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, sometimes I say this about like white executives. Like, if you want to secure your bag, then secure the culture. But
Yeah.
honestly, I've said this before, and Bad Bunny is such as like a great example of this.
Yeah.
Like, they asked him, they're like, okay, why don't you change the way that you are? And he's just like,
Fuck
do
that.
white people change the way that they are? Like,
Yeah.
they don't sing a song. Like, now the American culture is embracing the Latino culture, but like, I've always said this, like why am I gonna make stories for white people?
But which Latinos are they embracing? Right? So like that's another question.
Ooh.
Listen, dinner with us, good food, real talk.
Uh.
Which Latinos are they embracing? Which Latinos do you see them embracing? Don't double up.
I'm very close.
You double dipped a little bit. Nah, like which Latinos are they embracing? Because we see, you know, we've seen Modern Family with Sofia Vergara, right? We've seen, you know, a lot of people, Ricky Martin, and they don't look like these Latinos.
That's also true.
Right.
That's the thing, right? So in the music industry, I feel like the music industry was also always a little bit more advanced than the acting world,
Okay.
right? Like, I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up not really realizing that Hollywood never understood my voice. I never realized that because the music that I was listening to, the parties I would go to, everybody that I knew just looked like me, and I could go to a party and I could listen to bachata, I could listen to merengue, but I'm not realizing that this is not coming from Hollywood. I'm not realizing that this is coming from the neighborhood DJ. That's coming from a neighborhood person, like, and and sometimes you'll watch a TV show and all this stuff, but like, you're not realizing that when it comes to filming, when it comes to showing our stories, for me, I did not see. I was so. That's what I loved about New York City. That it's such a culture that you're so like immersed in.
Yeah.
That you kind of everything else is like that's just whack. That's just whack. That's just whack. Because I do feel like we're so ahead when it comes to a lot of things. But the Latinos they represent is also yes, they don't look like us. What I would say is mostly they're not Caribbean.
Yeah.
You have J-Lo who has, an immense, like, she's been such a huge icon. But even when you look at her, and then you have Rosie Perez, who's another icon, and you have Rita Moreno, who's another icon. But it's like even like these women are Caribbean and Puerto Rican, but it's like even that, like for us, like knowing what I know now in Hollywood, they still had to fight so hard
100%.
to get to where they are. But it's still a lot easier for a white Latino.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was watching Charlemagne's show the other day, and he was like, and I forgot who it was.
Ida Rodriguez?
Ida Rodriguez. She was like, we got white people too,
Yeah.
right? We got white Latinos, we got brown Latinos, we got
Yes.
black Latinos.
So why does the Latino vote differ so much from the black vote?
Because we got our own white people.
Oh.
And people don't understand that
Okay.
we have all, and the assimilation possibility for Latinx, Latina, Latin people is higher. People can come from other parts of Latin America, marry white as like they're told to do, assimilate and assume a white identity that black people cannot escape from.
And this is no bullshit. Like I'm gonna give you your flowers right now. Like you're authentically you, you're authentically New York. And I feel like if you straighten your hair and you do what they want to do, they would know what to do with it. But you don't.
Right.
Why?
And that's why I'm having a
but
little-
why don't you? Because you can make it easier for yourself and make a way.
So here's the thing, right? If you ever see me with my hair straightened, it's because I don't want to untangle my hair for another week. Like literally.
Yeah.
But when I started straightening my hair again,
Because you got a couple curl patterns there.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, right. Because you're like, curls they're a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
But I used to straighten my hair so much, and then when I started wearing my hair curly, and then I straightened my hair,
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I feel like I'm lying to myself.
Do you feel like you were selling out?
No, I don't know about selling out. I just feel like it wasn't like, because the reality of the situation is, growing up in my Dominican household, if my hair was curly, my hair wasn't done. That's just the reality of it. So we were taught to embrace like the idea of straightening your hair.
Yeah.
The only reason why I straightened my hair for so long was because it was easier to maintain.
The top three things are our empanadas, frio, and then we have our chicharrón de pollo, that's our boneless fried chicken, and our oxtail. We sling that all day.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Harlem.
All right, so we taking another shot.
Yeah.
Oh, there's more food.
I got here chicharrón de pollo with yellow rice and oxtail with coconut rice, rabo, chicharrón.
But wait, who are you, sir?
Oh, my name is Mose. I'll be your server today. I don't know if the other server was on break, but I'll take care of you guys from now on.
We had the manager. We got VIP treatment.
Well, I'll try to do my best.
Well, thank you so much, Moses.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Got
wonderful.
avocado.
Diablo.
Wow.
abacate. You can never
Maduros y
go wrong with
plantains.
abacate.
Guys, bien provecho. Enjoy the food.
Bien
Can I take this? I need to
provecho.
take this.
All right, so we got the oxtail, we got the chicharrón.
Yes.
No, not chicharrón, sorry.
Chicharrón de pollo.
Chicharrón de pollo.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I can eat.
All right, so we do this thing on Dinner with Ish where we kind of just stop talking for a second
Yeah.
and we take a slow bite into the food that's right in front of us. You need help with that? Would you like some help?
I don't know what's going on, but it's like melting.
Oh God, that's a good
But
thing.
it's a good sign.
All right, so all right, ready? We're gonna do your bite first. I want your initial reactions as soon as you bite into that.
No.
Go ahead. She all right? We need EpiPen, yo.
That's That's
That's not a big bite. You being ladylike.
Am I?
You gotta hit one of these. Like, look at this. Look at see all that. Like, look. Ready? Ready?
You know, that bite was like pretty big. It made me uncomfortable. And now I'm gonna have to outstage that bite.
Do it.
Cause it was just like you had a private moment.
Yo, I got a DM of somebody offering me money to eat. Like, yo, I'll pay you to eat. I'm like, all right, sir.
You better hop on it.
That's too fast.
I know. Wait.
Savor it.
Hold on.
Mmm. No.
I'm going in. All right.
Bite number 3.
Bite number 3.
Ready? Is this Dominican food you were missing when you were in LA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really great.
That's awesome. I'm happy. I know you were here for Thanksgiving and your family probably cooked an amazing meal for you, but I wanted to overload you on Dominican food. So when you go back home, you still had remnants. You know what I'm saying? Your teeth.
The problem is that when I go back home, then I'm gonna just start looking for apartments and move back. Like that's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
That's it.
But before we broke, and before all this amazing food came out, we were talking about colorism in the Dominican community.
100%.
We were also talking about just things that you just don't want to do to make it, right? Like things that you don't want to conform.
Well, so let's talk about colorism in the Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
Colorism in the Dominican Republic is something that, like, when I moved out here in America is when I resonated with the African American community. Because even in the African American community here, there is like colorism and stuff like that. And like, for me, like I was able to identify, I'm not white. Like, I'm not white at all. So when I wanted to see my identity and who I am as a human being,
right?
Like, I would see like Martin. There's someone in Martin that looks like me.
Gina.
There's you have and Fresh Prince, like
Hillary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I identify with these people, and what are they? They're black, and like who am I? I'm black. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the Dominican culture comes from a very, 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 very complicated history.
Yeah.
That like you really have to do your research and read about it.
Yeah.
And really understand like the years of conditioning, the years of like, oh, to be better, you have to like you have to get with a white man or this, that, and the third. I'm a true believer that love is love, regardless of whatever nationality, whoever you fall in love with. I believe that.
The history of DR, and like to dumb it down, and people definitely do your research. I don't know which camera's mine.
Research. You can't not just, even the American, like I came from a complicated culture into another complicated culture. Who the fuck is any American? Who the fuck are you in a high horse trying to judge what island I come from?
Facts.
When literally in this country, we're literally going through the same shit. And when it comes to identity, especially identity, like, I would be honest, like, even when I would watch telenovelas, telenovelas, nobody in a telenovela looked like me.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Mexican telenovelas. They don't look like me.
What can we do to open that up, though? Like let's just get to like the solution, right? What can we do to open it up for more people that look like us to get into Hollywood, to get into those rooms, and and for them to know what to do with our content, our movies? What can we do?
You ready?
I'm ready.
We complain. We don't complain anymore. Like, done complaining.
Right.
Because the reality of this, and knowing the beast that you're up against. Educate yourself on the beast that you're up against, right?
Right.
And understand that there's so many hurdles that is meant for us not to be successful. But don't let that hurdle stop you. Instead, know the information that you know and become resilient. And the way that we open doors is by doing this right now. Like this right here, like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Like people of color, like coming together and making shit happen and like just cross networking with one another. that's just what it's got to be. So, for example, I moved to Los Angeles, and you have these white executives telling me that in lame terms, I don't exist, right? I don't exist. Then, even in the day-to-day life, I don't exist out there either. Like Mexican Americans, they don't know what a Dominican is, or like they just don't know. Like when I speak Spanish, they get so surprised because to them, I am a black girl, which I am. I'm not never negating that. I am also like, I feel like I'm the 200 as Latinos or as an immigrant. You feel like the 200% because you're 100% your culture at home, and then you're 100% the American culture that you have embraced, right? But out there, they don't even know what I am. They don't even know what a Dominican is.
They don't understand it.
So I ended up partnering up with these two girls, and we ended up making these parties called the Dale parties out there. The first party, 600 people came out.
Shit.
600 people. Until this day, every time we throw these parties, it's been consecutive. It's either 500 to 600 people, and it gets so packed.
And what's the purpose of the party?
The purpose of the parties is just letting people know that we exist. I exist. You've been telling me I don't exist. I fucking exist. One of the things that have made me resilient as a person has been my Dominican culture. Yeah. Because I learned that from my dad. I learned how to, I understand that a lot of things, there's going to be a lot of hurdles, a lot of obstacles that are going to purposely try to stop you from being anything. Yeah. But my dad always found a way to like make things happen.
What's your relationship with your dad? You referenced him off camera like 3 times, and now you're referencing him again for a 4th time.
Yeah.
What's that like?
So I didn't really have like a great relationship with my father. So let me tell you, okay, I'm an affair child. Y'all know what that is?
Yeah.
I'm an affair.
We got 3 of them in my family.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
West
And
Indians.
it's pretty, yeah, well, I'm an affair child. Like, my mom was married, my dad was in a relationship with someone for like 9 years, and they decided to have an affair, and I came out of nowhere. And these 2 families are like, who is this baby? Like, who is this girl? So that's why I have such a huge family. So I never really felt like I felt love from 2 families, but I never felt like I fit in because it's like I'm neither here nor there, right? I mean, luckily they're both Dominican. And I'm able to see like
so the culture was still
there, right. And that's why it's such a huge part of my identity. Yeah. But I didn't get to know that my dad was a hero until I was 28, right? A hero. Like my dad was like, we're living in the Bronx. We're like struggling. We're I keep hearing that my dad is sending all of our money to the Dominican Republic. Not all of our money, because we still had our home. And at the time, I lived with my stepmom and my brothers and sisters from that family. I kind of would try to argue with him like, hey, we're poor here too. Yeah. Like, what are you doing sending all this money to Dominican Republic? Like, we're poor here. Hello? And it wasn't until I was 28 where I was filming the movie De Lo Mío that I really got to see my dad's part of the family. Like, and my dad kind of like internalized a lot of everything that he went through, because it's like the very Dominican macho kind of thing where it's like, no, I have a responsibility, and I'm gonna make sure that my family is gonna be okay and nobody question me about it. So when I would tell him, I'm like, yo, we're struggling here, he'll be like, he'll go like that, right? And it wasn't until I went to the Dominican Republic and I got to meet my dad's side of the family after all these years. Like, I would know about them, but actually meet them and know that my dad grew up in the woods. Wow. They built their home from scratch. They would take a shower in the river. And when he moved to America, because of him, they were able to drink clean water.
Where he's from.
Where he's from. And we're talking about 40 plus people he was taking care of.
Wow. Wow.
And he
saved a village, essentially. Like he assisted, helped, and yeah.
And then and that's under that same, having that huge responsibility, he was able to bring his siblings and his cousins out here to America by himself.
One thing I respect about the Dominican people really have this, I think a lot of people from the Caribbean have that same outlook in that we each one teach one, each one help one.
Right.
And that's remarkable though, like to actually bring clean running water to an entire village.
Yeah.
That sounds like a hero to me.
And before I say anything, before we move on from this topic, I
Yeah.
just want to say that there's a lot of things that my Dominican culture love, right? Like the things that us as Dominicans that we love and we really pride ourselves in actually comes from our African culture. Mango, like, comes from the African culture.
Yeah.
Merengue, all that stuff
Yeah.
comes from our African culture. One of our favorite songs is Los Pagos. We love to play that song,
Yeah.
but it's so deeply rooted in the West African culture.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes we don't understand, like, as a Dominican, we have this, like, this thing where I'm like, I'm not black. I'm not black. I'm not white. I'm Dominican. But Dominican is not a race. You know, we've been so stuck in our island that's like, it's not a race. When you get here, you're gonna be seen as black.
Yeah.
And that is part of your identity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like, and this is something that was told to me, do you feel like people from DR say they're Dominican and they identify as Dominican is because they have an attachment to being Dominican, whereas people in America, their attachment to who they truly are, whether it's Nigerian, Ghanaian, or whatever, was ripped away. So they truly don't know what they are. So they say, I am black. So like the argument is, and I'm not saying if I agree or disagree with this, the argument is that Dominican people say they're Dominicans because they have an attachment to Dominican Republic.
Right.
Whereas black people say they're black because they don't know where to track,
Right.
you know, their roots are.
Right. So the thing about that is like I have black African friends. I mean
Yeah.
black African. I have friends that are black Americans and they tell me like, oh, I'm like envious because you know where you're from,
Right.
right? Like I know my family is from the Dominican Republic and stuff like that. But there was slavery there as well.
100%.
So part of that conditioning, part of like wanting to like whiten yourself, or part of like that thing is like being lighter is better, which is like not the MO of my family, but we are very aware there's a lot of people in the Latin community that's their MO.
Yeah.
The lighter the better, right?
Yeah.
So that is a form of colonization trying to take away from what you are naturally and who you are originally, right? But we were so lucky to still keep a lot of our African culture and where we came from like the foods that we eat, from like the music that we hear. And I think that I wish that we would realize that more as the Dominican culture. That is like a lot of the stuff that we love and we hold dear comes from our African culture.
Yo, Sasha, we gotta have a part 2, man. Like you and I, like we going in right now.
Right.
Like it's beautiful. And I love where you're coming from, and I love what you're spewing right now because it's so real and so like it's not what we see on social media, Sasha.
Right.
It's like it's a whole different, you know, depiction of who you are as a person. But I know you have a comedy show that you got to gear up for and do it in a few minutes.
Oh shit.
I want to play a game and I want to get dessert out. So let's wrap this up real quick. Let's get dessert out here. Let's play one quick game, and then I promise I'm gonna get you to that show in no time.
This used to be an alleyway. People were coming here to buy drugs like for years, and every house on this block was abandoned. You know, would never imagine that was here.
All right, so this is a game that I wanted to play with you that I created because you're so funny online and you're so quick and fun-witted. I wanted to show you a picture and you basically meme each picture, but you have to start with, hey yo, no cap, but. All right, first picture.
Hey yo, no cap, but like, what are you serving me right now? Like, do you even know what you talking about? Like, you even know what you cooking? Like, what are we doing here?
Up next.
Okay.
All right, number 2.
All right,
Hey, yo, no cap.
Yo, hey yo, no cap, but like, there's royalty right here. I have nothing else to say right here. You got the, like, this. Big pun. Fat Joe, like this is
Big soup poppies.
big two poppies with the suit looking. Hey yo. No cap, but like the one and only, Harlem.
The one and only.
The one and only. I don't even have anything to say. It's just like, look at that face.
Yeah. That's from a Dinner with Ish episode.
I know, I see it. I see it right here. But the look at him, he's like, what you said, man?
He's awesome. He's a dope person.
Nah, he looks like he was like getting into something like very deep. Like,
Yeah, he
was,
basically
like,
said, yeah, he said, hey, yo, you trying to fuck?
Quick question. You trying to fuck?
Hey, yo, but you trying to smash? Hey, yo, no cap. But this ice cream, this ice cream is looking like it tastes good.
That's a Mauricio Ñando ice cream right there.
Ice cream for real. Like, no cap. Look how happy he is. You know when something looks good. You know something is good when you tasting it and your eyes disappear.
Hey, yo, no cap.
Hey, yo, no cap. But I love this man. I love this man.
He got the side spoon.
He got. You're right. Honestly, he got the whole, like, he looks like he's about to get his hair done. He looked like he's about to get a blowout. Like, Titi le preguntó, and I don't know if he got muchas novias in this picture. Maybe muchos novios in this picture. But I love him. We could be friends. One day we'll be friends.
And finally, Queen. Hey, yo, no cap.
But Rihanna was the best of all time. Yo, this is my Ayo, no cap, but this is me when I'm lit. Like, you already know that I'm having like too much to drink when I'm having a sip of something and I'm looking at you like I'm trying to fuck. I don't even care who you are. Like I'm just trying to fuck.
All right, time to cut. Dessert. Oh, Moses is
You guys
back.
doing okay?
Yeah, we doing great, Moses.
Dessert, I got the tres leche over here.
Of course.
And the flan.
Mm.
You guys enjoy, all right? You guys need anything else?
Which
please
one's
let me know.
which one's your favorite, Moses?
Personally, definitely the tres leche.
So why you gave me the flan, bro?
Ladies
Because
gets
you know
best.
what?
Lady gets the best, you know?
Facts,
Guys,
facts.
enjoy,
Yo,
alright?
Moses, you've been amazing, man. Thank
you
you. Oh my God. Yeah, you're like, give me the best one. So, last bite, dessert is here. I mean, last course, dessert is here. Wow, that's amazing. Want to try some of this?
No.
You want to share?
I can't share tres leches. That's the best dish.
Mm.
Nah, this is pretty good.
You want both?
Actually, this is pretty good too.
Yeah,
Well, they were both delicious.
they're really good. The food here was amazing. Like, what was your favorite dish, though?
What's my favorite dish? I don't have a choice. Like,
They're all good?
yeah, they're all, yeah. The chicharrón de pollo, the way they did it was like perfectly pollo and perfectly chicharrón. You know what I mean? But the oxtail, come on.
Oxtail was
like,
melting. It was melting
It
on your
was
floor.
like I couldn't even
so good.
get the bite you wanted
Yeah.
me to get.
Listen, man.
Like that savory bite, I couldn't even do it. It was just like melting off of my fork. It
The
was
food here was amazing. The conversation was very riveting. I appreciate you for being on Dinner with Ish. If there's one thing you could say to that young Latina that looks like you right now, that wants to become an actress, that wants to become an astronaut, right? But has no one that she can assimilate to around her that looks like her, what would you tell her? What would your words be to someone like that?
To build resilience, you need to understand that the world is making it work for you, not against you. There's a lot of hurdles that our people have to go through every single day. But if we stop, we'll never make it to the next place. Like we'll never get through the hurdle. And just do not give up, and just doesn't matter how discouraged you get from what you see, keep going. Like just keep going and know that everything's working for you, not against you.
I appreciate that. I mean, I feel like I needed to hear that as well. To just keep going.
For real, because
Yeah.
even for you, right? Like there's gonna be things like all this work that we put into something and like all the energy we put in, sometimes it feels like, damn, why the fuck am I doing all this stuff when I'm not getting to the other side? But that is every single obstacle trying to stop you from getting there.
Yeah.
And if you stop, then you'll never be able to relish in the moment that you know you deserve.
Yeah. You spoke about me giving you like words of affirmation at the beginning of the episode, but I appreciate you for giving them back to me. And a lot like my boy Antoine and one of the partners here in Dinner with Ish, like every time like something happens when I'm filming, something happens when I'm getting ready to, you know, like to get started. And he was like, hey man, don't stop, stay focused. That's my Antoine impression. But you're right, and you got to just keep going.
When you're on the right path, everything's going to try to stop you from creating, or from being. Yeah. When you're on the right path. And then you're so used to the obstacles, and this is going to be real. You're going to be so used to the obstacles.
Just touch me. Sasha Merci, touch me.
You're going to be so used to the obstacles that when shit gets so easy for you, you go, whoa, this is way too easy.
Yeah.
And you just have to like enjoy the journey and know that the true blessing and the true joy is from the journey. It's not from the destination. It's not from the destination. Because once you get there, you're going to be like, this is it?
Yeah.
But like the people that you meet, the people you work with, the people you build with, that is the true testament of what you're trying to accomplish. That is it.
Yeah.
Everything
Sasha,
else is bullshit.
I appreciate the shit out of you. I appreciate you for being on Dinner with Ish. I appreciate you for your words of wisdom, and I appreciate you for just being who you are, right? And I think we definitely have to do a part 2.
Let's do a part 2. I'm down.
I think I'm gonna fly to LA and I'm gonna shoot you. You know what I'm saying?
We have to, because I feel like we've talked about so many things that are just too complicated.
And they need to be talked about. Yeah. But listen, let's dig into this dessert. Let's get you an Uber.
Yes.
And
I gotta go.
Can I come to the show with you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You fed me.
That's true.
You fed me. I mean, you know.
I'm paying for it. It's okay.
Okay.
Giancarlo, can I borrow your credit card?
Okay.
Cheers.
Great conversation, stay in tune with the grind. Looking at my rolling, man, it's about that time. Grab a plate to eat, sipping on fine wine. From activists to actors, models to musicians. Best cooks in the world, just chefing in the kitchen. Episodes are spicy, you don't want to miss. This is Dinner with Ish, you know. It's good vibe everywhere. Like a fantasy, got me high, got me flying away. Just free your mind, free your soul. Grab a glass and just let go.